Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Oh Hell Yeah. I'm Eddie Della Siepe.
And it's me, Brent Flyberg.
We're here, we're peers, deal with it.
Deal with it.
We're here in beautiful Spiderweb Studios.
Spider
Cave? There's spiders here.
There's spiders.
Yeah,
And we respect the spiders. The spiders are a welcome addition to the studio, if you're asking me anyways.
Again, we look like the tale of two podcasters. I'm dressed like I don't know how am I dressed. I dress like a carpenter that doesn't actually work.
Yeah.
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 I got a carpenter's shirt, got some
it's
hard
like
denim on.
It's your very first day of being a carpenter.
Yeah.
You've got the clothes. You know you're going to wear them.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even
I
started.
really look like the kind of guy that said, you know, I'm going to be a carpenter.
Yeah.
And I bought the clothes before I actually started to actually take carpentry.
I got to dress the part. That's the first step.
Yeah. People believe when they see.
Mm-hmm.
And you're dressed like, I don't know. You got the gym shorts on.
Yeah,
You
kind
got the polo with lobsters on it.
Yeah, it's one of my classic stepdad outfits.
Yes.
I look like I could be grilling and chilling
Mm-hmm.
or coaching a basketball team, like
Yeah.
a youth basketball team. There's a collar, so you know
Yes.
I'm serious, but the basketball shorts, so you know I'm athletic.
You know, sometimes when I have such a mosh posh of different like articles of clothing when I wake up in the morning. Like when I go walk my dog, I got like gym shorts. Sometimes I'll just put on a dress shirt. Like I'll have a weird hat on. And like I don't really care. It's the
Yeah.
morning, and then I catch myself in a glimpse of I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and I just look like I kind of look like there's a hurricane and FEMA gave me these clothes. It's like, here, whatever's in the bag.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just out there in your like Buffalo Bills Super Bowl champion shirt that the ones that they give.
Yeah, to like impoverished countries.
Yeah, and somehow made it back to you.
You know, I edit the podcast, and so I see a lot of footage,
Mhm.
and I have to say this off the top. I think I've seen more of you than I have in my entire life in
Yeah.
the last like 2 weeks since
Yeah.
this podcast has been off the ground.
Uh-huh.
And I say this with all sincerity. You're a good-looking guy.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate
You're a
it.
good-looking guy. You're a manly man. You got good features, good bone structure, and I say that with all sincerity.
Uh-huh. What's coming next?
Now me.
Also a handsome guy.
Ah,
great
come
bone
on.
structure.
Come on.
Great hairline.
Brent, stop. We're rolling.
That was natural. I was gonna say that anyways.
Come on.
Even if he hadn't said anything.
We're rolling. This is embarrassing.
Ah, stop. You love it.
That's my LA guy. It's like, you're great. I love you. You're so talented. Now me.
And then just wait.
Now me?
Mm-hmm.
You're not doing me. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the asshole.
Yeah.
It's like, is that an
So
all
you hate
sincere?
me. Yeah.
You hate us.
Uh,
What's new in Brentland?
Brentlandia.
Brentlandia.
That's good.
Oh
That
no!
could be
You're gonna
my-
get big off this podcast and have a side quest called
Brentlandia.
Side pod called Brentlandia.
No, it'll be a quest. It'll be my geocaching podcast where I'm going on little quests.
So
Not
as
much
always, I'm
new.
fascinated by your dating life,
Yeah.
mainly because if I was your height, had your beard, I would be unstoppable. You know what? I hate when people say shit like that. I had a buddy that said that to me one time. He's like a taller dude, and he was bald,
Mhm.
and then he just was staring at my hair, and then he was like, "If I had your hair, I would be huge. I'd be famous." And all I can think is, so I'm not using it well?
Yeah.
That means I'm not cashing in on it.
Yes. I've had that happen to a friend. Almost the same, where it was like a career thing. Like, if I looked like you, I'd have a better career than you do.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so you think I'm stupid.
Bald guys will always look at some guy with a full head of hair and thinking like, I was robbed.
Yeah, that's
If-
the only thing holding me back.
If I had that kind of lettuce, whoo, baby, the sandwiches I would be on.
I would, yeah. I would be the white boy of the month. If I had that hair, I would be Glenn Powell right
But
now.
you can. But the thing is, I love when a bald guy will say that to me. And by all means, if there's any bald people listening to this podcast, I love you. You're needed out there.
Mhm.
Someone's got to manage the Home Depot.
Exactly.
Somebody's got to run these companies. Someone's got to scare women online.
Someone's got to drive the nation's boats.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Someone's got to be on a yacht with a cigar laughing at people
Yes.
poorer than you.
Yes, you can pull that off.
Yes. Someone's.
I look like I'm just gloating. If I do that, if I'm on a yacht, if we're on a yacht with
Dude.
these hairlines, if we're on a yacht smoking a cigar, you're like, that's too much.
If I saw you on a yacht, no shirt, I'd like, he is making adult films. That man right there is making adult
That's a
films.
pornographer.
That guy has monthly subscriptions to various sites that he's on. Anyway, so I was saying, they'll always say that. They'll look at your hair and they'll be like, "Ah, if I had that hair, I would be unstoppable."
Mhm.
And then I said to him, one flight, Turkey,
Yeah. If
Twen-
you really think that that's what's
20
between
grand,
you and the
30 grand.
life you want,
Yes,
you're gonna come up with 20 grand.
it's 2024.
Yeah, yeah.
Your dreams can come true.
Science. We have cured baldness in a way.
Cured.
If you have the money, you don't have to be bald.
It is fully possible. A friend said that to me and said, if I had your hair, I would be famous. I said, you can have it, 30 grand, Turkey. They will pick you up in an Uber black car, take you to the airport. They'll fly you to Turkey. I'm not. What's the capital of Turkey? Budapest.
Yep.
They'll fly to Budapest. Another black car will pick you up. They'll take you to a Hilton hotel or some fancy hotel. You'll have your meals paid for you. You'll go in. You'll get a consultation. They'll pencil your head. Then they'll do the transplant. I watched the whole thing on TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've looked into this.
Not only have I watched it on TikTok, the algorithm thinks, oh, you're a bald man.
Yeah, you want this shit.
You're a bald man, and you were considering it. And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, I'm not. No, you're bald.
Yeah.
The algorithm really gaslights you. No, you're
Well,
bald.
it's like either you're bald or you're insecure about your hairline, and
And I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, I have hair, and my algorithm says, you'll lose it. You'll lose it. Here's a Hims commercial. But anyway, you on a boat would look like you're making adult films. Speaking of you topless,
Mhm.
that's the fourth time I said that today.
Yeah.
First time here. I actually went for a run. I got back into running.
Yeah.
Were you a runner at all? I know you were a Division
Yes,
III
I used to
athlete.
run a lot. I don't run a lot anymore. I did go for a run today though.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I went to. Funny how I mentioned how I joked around about wearing a carpenter's clothes. I used to run a lot, so I was like, I'm getting back to running. So the first thing I do is
Get a bunch of gear.
buy the gear.
Yeah. What kind of gear? What are you getting? Special shorts? You got a run belt? What do you got?
I actually have all that stuff from when I used to run during the pandemic when I
Mhm.
was running for my life, literally,
Mhm.
because I was so sad.
Yeah,
But
there was nothing else to do.
I got myself a pair of like shoes that are meant for like running that get a high stack,
Okay.
right?
Tell me more. What kind of shoes? This
New
is-
Balance.
I love this shit.
New Balance fuel
You got
cell.
the fresh foam, the fuel cell. Okay.
Fuel cell. Whoa. I'm hard. I didn't know we were so much in common. Now, the more we uncover, the more we realize you should be the best man at my wedding. And you should wear a lav mic, and it should be a part of the pod.
I'll do it.
But and I'll show it to you when we go inside. But it's a high stack, and it got a hell of a drop. Right,
Mhm.
this is all running
Yeah.
talk.
hmm
Uh,
What's the drop on that? 10 millimeters?
pretty close.
Okay.
But I will say, the way my girlfriend looked at me when I was walking around with the high stack foam shoe, I was like, oh, you prefer this. Deep down, you wish I was taller. The way she held me when I walked up to her, like, hey, look how tall I am now. And I was like, this is tighter than I've ever felt from you. She like kissed my neck. She's like, you don't need to go right now, do you? I'm like,
Oh,
what the
man.
hell is this?
You're going to have to leave them on.
This is why short guys buy lifts, because they
Mhm.
experience the power of 2 inches of height.
Yes.
And then they gotta constantly live this lie.
Would you ever consider the shin lengthening surgery?
Well, everyone talks about the advantages. I'm sure there's horror stories of guys.
That seems like it cannot be good for your body.
No, you're literally breaking your shins,
Mhm.
and then it's very medieval. Actually, they're like not that I've researched or like consulted.
Not that I
stuff.
know that it would be exactly $90,000 to get my hairline and my shins done.
Yeah, it's not like I actually can go to Europe and get this done and consulted 4 doctors, and they all suggested not to do it. But I said, well, what if I'd take some bone marrow supplements? But you have to wear a brace on your shin, and much like braces, there's like a crank, and it's slowly
Like a palate expander.
Yes, so
Oh,
it's
man.
slowly, and then you build the bone marrow between, and then a little
Ugh.
bit more. But it has to be at a particular time when the marrow is malleable enough
Mhm.
where you're not
So
breaking
that
it
it
again.
kind of stretches.
Yeah, so then boom, 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 and you're taking tons of like supplements for your bones and stuff like that, calcium and
Yeah,
stuff.
just drinking
But
milk.
I just feel like there is this old like wives' tale that like, oh, the bone is now stronger now, or like when you shave, your leg or something. It's like the
Grows
hair comes
back
back
thicker,
stronger and
yeah.
thicker. I maybe that's true, but I would fear that one day I'd be going for a run and just my my
It would
shin
just
snap.
snap right there, yeah.
And also, you gotta like explain to people, "Oh, I got taller."
Yeah, suddenly, people are like, "Did you get taller?"
2 inches. It's like
Yeah.
not enough to.
This is not quite enough. No, I think if I saw you one day and you were 2 inches taller, I'd be like, "And he's wearing tall shoes today." Imagine you go through all that and everyone just thinks like, "Hey, he started wearing lifts."
Yeah, they just trash me. Yeah, Eddie's wearing lifts.
This freaking goofball.
I think he's
thinks we
wearing
don't know.
heels.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing Heelys actually.
Hey there. Hope you're enjoying this episode. If you are, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell so you get a notification when we put out new episodes and you don't miss it. Also, please follow us on social media and enjoy the rest of the episode. Let's get back to it.
But no, I don't think I would ever. Listen. I don't want to bring up my height every show, but I will say I'm deceivingly shorter.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we sat down next to each other like we do now, it's like,
Mhm.
oh, but when we stand up, it's like, oh,
Yeah,
that's his son.
I'm a little tall. Yeah. That's his son.
Oh, that's his son.
Oh, his boy.
This is the only way he could connect with him is through a podcast. It's the only way he could talk to his son for a whole hour. He's like, well, what if we had a podcast together? That would get us together.
If we could make money off of it, I'll talk to you.
So, how's your dating life? What's going on? What's new? Tell me everything.
Nothing really new to report. I went on a date. the
Another
other
one?
day. Yeah.
God,
Same person the last time, so
she won't get between us, will she?
seems unlikely, but we can't rule it out. Please don't kill the women I'm dating.
No,
to keep me engaged in the
no,
podcast.
no. I have to go with their employers. They can't give you a hard time. They're too busy looking for a job.
That's
true. Second date.
Well, this was probably like date number 7,
7.
give or take.
Counting.
Yeah, I'm not counting. I'm guessing. Relax. I'm not counting.
I will say you are an easygoing guy.
Mm-hmm.
I base that on this podcast because I can be like, hey, I'm thinking about wearing a wig next episode. You're like, cool.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah. Got 2?
If it makes you feel good, do it.
Wear a wig, man. I don't care. Be you. You are easygoing. So I think for some women, that would be very attractive because, hey, I said Mexican. He said, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I said, let's go for a walk. He said, sure. Like anything I suggest, he said, yeah. But also, they could be mistaken as aloofness, which is also attractive.
It does work.
Like,
it works like that. Yeah.
Yeah, where it can be like, and you're not doing it on purpose. It's obviously something that's part of your nature.
Yeah,
and ladies, if you're listening or watching this podcast, because Brent won't get back to you, and you're trying to see if he's busy or not, and what's his life up to, because he won't tell you. He does it to me too.
Yeah, it's not on purpose.
But the thing is, we're guys,
Yeah.
and I take it as like, hey, you cool with this? Yep. And then, hey, we're guys. But if
Yeah.
I was a woman who's insecure and wants that sweet, sweet hairy body on top of mine, I'd be like, why is he just giving me 3-word answers?
To be clear, I'm a bit of a planner when it comes to dates.
Are you really?
Yeah. So like this woman who I've been seeing, she said, you would make a great executive assistant because like I will. Like one time I made a spreadsheet.
Wait a second. She said to you, you'd make a good executive assistant?
Yeah. Because I was like, "Do you want to see a movie on Thursday?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I made a spreadsheet of movies we could see at what times and the locations with a link to a map so that she could see where they were.
It's
And a trailer, and a link to a trailer to the movie.
Very impressive.
Thank you.
What she said to you is a compliment, but also a slight. That's like me going to you, you know what? You know those $1 million, those really successful entrepreneurial CEOs that change the world? You'd be great at managing that guy's calendar. You would
And
be
that's
great.
no easy feat, okay?
That's a lot of things in that ledger to fill out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You are organized. Are you a checklist guy?
I am. Yeah, I do.
So if I were like, "Hey, we need this for the podcast," are you writing it down then?
I'm usually using the like Apple Notes, the like iOS Notes, because they sync to your computer, so you can, and they do the little checklist, so you can
Love it.
click. It's so nice to click the little thing and then watch it go to the bottom. Oh, satisfying.
So are you a prompt guy? Or are you like taxes on time?
Because
I can
I'm
see you
a
doing
little
both
bit of a
ways.
procrastinator. I try to do my taxes as soon as possible because it stresses me out. I think I had this year's done by mid-March.
Really?
Yeah.
My father was born and raised in Italy. He's like an immigrant. So the thing with when he didn't speak English well, and he was not educated, he didn't. He was a farm boy from the
Mm-hmm.
rural Europe.
Mm-hmm.
But where a lot of immigrants make up the difference is through lack of procrastination and
Mm.
promptness.
Ah.
Be at work on time. You can't afford to like, if I get fired, I get another one. This might be your only job.
Yeah.
So they have that sense of back against the wall. And my father, the moment a bill came in the mail when I was
Paid.
living in the house when I first got a credit card, he slam it on my bed, pay it,
Yeah.
license renewal, do
Do
it,
it.
taxes, do it. He was on me because I think when you don't speak the language and you're not from there and you're just getting by with little English you have and what little skills and education you have, you can't afford to be like, oh, I guess I'll have to pay this late fee.
Yeah. And if there's any sort of complication, because I was thinking about this when I was going through, I used to be on Medi-Cal, which is like the state subsidized health insurance. There's so much like paperwork and like hoops to jump through
Hmm.
that like if you wait a little too long, even if you think you're going to get it done on time, you might not. Because if
Right.
there's any sort of complication and then you add a language barrier, it's
Uh-huh.
like that would you got to start right away just in case.
Yes. So my dad really put it in my mind that like, hey, um, so it's funny how like just those simple behavioral traits that my father had stuck with me forever
Yeah.
and made me a more responsible human being. And
Are you
now
paying those bills on time?
paying the bills on time, sometimes too early.
Yeah.
Like I'll pay a credit card bill and then I'll be like, I got some extra money, I'll put an extra whatever. But the inverse to that was like, so you feel a sense of accomplishment. But the inverse to that is that uh, if you are late for some reason, the amount of anxiety I feel. So there is a consequence. You do
Yeah.
feel terrible if you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, are they going to ruin my credit? Like,
Yeah.
relax. It's just 2 days late. You must have missed a bill or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway,
Are you a punctual person?
okay. Here's the thing. It's a girlfriend. She's sleeping, right? She doesn't listen to this podcast. Frankly, I don't know if anyone is, but I always, I even for like a friend meeting for coffee,
Mhm.
it bugs me
Yeah.
if I'm late,
Mhm.
and I don't know if it's because I like being a punctual person and I like respecting my friend's time,
Mhm.
or that if they're late, I have something over them, and then I can remind them every time they slight me.
It is
So
such
I don't
an
know what it is.
it's a little bit of I because I'm
Social
punctual.
credit.
I'm punctual too. Yes, and the social credit, and it is in my mind like the easiest way to
Uh,
get some of that social credit to get a little
yes.
bit of like yeah, points for doing things the right way, like.
Right, right.
And I used to get so frustrated. I've now reached a point where like I don't really care if somebody else is late, but
Mm,
I'm so upset if I am late.
yes.
Because you live in LA, you just kind of have to be
Any major city.
in any major city,
If
probably.
you're in New
Yeah,
York, you're dealing with the train, stuff beyond
yeah,
your control, like
yeah.
traffic or
You just have
delays.
to accept that like at least half of your friends are going to be late, and that's just how it is. And it's like I used to get so mad about it, but it's like after a while, it's what am
Yeah.
I? What's
Stop
the point?
signs and clocks, they're just suggestions.
Yeah.
In Los Angeles, a stop sign is a suggestion. Stop
Yeah,
ish.
slow down at least.
So if your friend says meet me at 5, you meant 6.
6-ish,
You
6-ish.
you meant 8ish the next day.
Mhm.
But I've done that. I've sat down waiting for a friend. It's been half an hour. Uh, and it comes to a point where like you get so angry and that all you want is them being like, dude, what can I get your coffee? Can I get you a donut,
Yeah,
something? Are you good? And then I'll just wave it off. It's fine. It's
yeah.
fine. But if you're late half an hour for a coffee to hang out and there's no offer, even you gotta give me a little bit.
Acknowledge. You got to acknowledge. For the love of
Yes.
God, just that's all I need. Just acknowledge that you were late, and then we're good.
Now, do you apologize or do you say, what if I was half hour late and I just sat down like, I've been like, sucks, man, traffic. Is that enough?
I'm gonna let it go, but I'm gonna say no, it's not enough. I'm
You
not
need
gonna dwell on it, but I
right.
am gonna be like, all right, noted.
You need a sorry.
Yeah,
You need like,
I want a sorry.
you know what you need? You need me floating in, being like, dude, I'm so sorry. I got screwed. Went down the wrong street. I missed my exit. Are you good?
That happens.
There you go.
It's easy. That's it. That's
Now,
it.
what if I'm a hot babe with amazing jugs? How late can I be before you get mad?
It's a long time. Like I'm gonna be a little frustrated if it's a pattern, but like especially if it's a first hang, it's like, dude, what?
Oh man, it's funny how attractiveness can really wipe out anything.
Yeah.
Like I could be on a first date. You know what? I bet you any money you could be on a first date. She could show up with another guy making out. I mean, sorry, I'm late. You'd be like, been there.
That's not serious though, right?
Yeah, he's not joining, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, sit down. How are
Yeah.
you? You're really.
Hey, what you did before we got together, that's none of my business.
Yeah, the fact that you're here is great. I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, like when I was single, oh man, like I would put up with so much. You know what's funny? One time when I went on a Bumble date, or I was supposed to go on a Bumble date, and she just full on stood me up.
You got full on stood up?
Full on stood me up like, oh my God, I fell asleep. I can't believe it. You know, full on me at the bar, waiting,
Damn.
being like, I guess they're not showing up.
Yeah.
And then, you know, when you move from a table and you're like, they'll be here soon.
Yeah.
And they're not. And the server knows.
Then the whole staff knows.
The whole staff knows, like, oh, look at him. He's got such nice hair, too. He got such nice hair, and he got stood up. And then you do that classic walk. Like, I'm just going to go to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
be right back. Yeah.
Can I take my order to the bar? You take your water, you're like, your ginger ale or Coke or whatever. I'm just going to.
Me and my friend, we're gonna come back, but I'm
They're,
just gonna.
Yeah, she's
Shit on traffic.
yeah, she's out, you know, finishing up, but she's on set.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah. The modeling show went long. You know how it is. Paris Fashion Week.
Models, you know, they just stand there, but it's actually a lot of work. Then you go to the bar, and then you're like, I could just eat at home. I could save some money, and then just go like this. Yeah, just the ginger ale. So full stood up, got the whole sorry. She said, what she said, I'm so sorry, whatever. Can I make it up to you?
Uh-huh.
Now, the Eddie that you know today, who is strong, confident, and you know, has got a great life ahead of himself and is currently living a great life,
Yeah.
would be like, screw you, I'm worth more.
Oh, really?
Back then, couldn't text back fast enough? Yes. Yes. Yes, where?
I think that's fine, because I think if they do it once, it's like, maybe this really happened. You know, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they really wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened. But did you hang out again?
We did.
And she showed up on time and
Late.
Mm.
An hour.
An hour late.
An hour. But we went back to my place after. Started making out on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all worth it.
Yeah.
All worth it. And then she looked at the clock and was like, oh, I gotta go. Like,
if only we had one more hour together.
I was like, oh, so you know how to be on time for something. Yeah. You have to go.
You gotta go.
Oh.
You're prioritizing being somewhere else at a specific time? Okay, interesting.
Okay.
Interesting.
If you said, I'm not feeling you physically, I'd have been like, or that way, or I'm not ready, or I've just got a relationship, or your height discrepancy really bothers me. You know, I don't, what's with the incessant giggling? Why do you keep giggling and keep fist pumping yourself, saying we did it? Why do you keep looking at us, making it on the mirror? All that aside, I'm just late. I don't want to be late for something. Anyway,
was there a third date?
No, I never saw her again. And then I was on TikTok back in the day, and I got people you may want to follow, and it was her, and I was like, hey, what is she up to? Two
multi-level marketing
two children.
Okay.
Well, one, and then she's pregnant with another.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, the guy's a baldo who owns a yacht. Nah, he's a former NFL player.
Wow. Damn, that's rough. I actually, have you ever developed a crush
Not
on
that I
like?
look into his life or his career or
Of
his
course
Wikipedia
not. Of
page and
course not.
went to his Wikipedia page, tried to change things, make him look bad. But anyway,
You ever developed a crush on your friend's friend just through Instagram?
develop a crush through your friend's friend or with.
On a friend's friend through Instagram.
Oh, okay. So you have a buddy, and then they have
And
tag photos.
she has a friend who like is in
Uh,
pictures with her sometimes, and I was like, dang, that lady's cute. And then she just kept pop like over the last like year, I was just like, man, I hope I get to meet this lady one day. And then
really?
suddenly she's pregnant, and so then I'm like, okay, I didn't even know she had a boyfriend. What's going on? And I look, and her boyfriend is an MLS player.
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
so I was like, all right, I guess I never had a shot.
I've had moments where back when I was single, you'd find someone on Instagram through an explore page or a tag
Yeah.
photo or from a friend and a friend. And then you look at their life and you're like, oh my God, this person's beautiful. They're into this, they're into that. Huge crush. I don't know this person.
Hmm.
And then you kind of dismiss it like, I'll never see this person.
Yeah.
And then one day you're just surfing around and you find them again. And then this happened to me and she was pregnant. And I was like, so I reported her page. Report.
That'll show her.
Don't need to bring another life into this world. It's terrible, this world. Where do you get off? Anyhow.
When you were dating, did you ever get into trouble? Like, not get into trouble, but like I had situations where I was like joking around over text and they received it very literally. Did that ever happen to you?
No. I've had moments where you kind of like, I think LOL, ha ha ha, saves it all.
Well, that's funny you should say that
As
because one time
as a back ender,
I was meeting up with a young woman. She was late, um,
Mm.
and but she was texting me like, "Okay, I'll be there in the next like 15," and I was like, "Great, I'll see you there." I'm sitting outside. Just a heads up, I am 80 pounds heavier and 10 years balder than my pictures.
You said it to her?
I said that to her, yeah. And she sent back, "Wait, for real?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I was just kidding." And then she was like, "Oh, you didn't say LOL or JK, so I wasn't sure." And I
Wow.
was like, at that moment, I was this close to being like, "Forget it."
You can't do that, man.
Yeah.
You can't because women have gotten texts like that
Yeah,
before, and it's
that's
been real.
yeah, I realized that like that was too close to a reality she has experienced, but
No.
I thought I was being so outlandish and silly.
Right, right, right. No, no, no. You can't. I feel like on texting when you're doing that sort of courting thing, it's light, it's easy, and also I feel like be as minimal as possible
Mhm.
because if you get too deep, you want to have some surprises in person. You want a
My
pen pal.
I'm trying to have I've now transitioned into I'm trying to have as little conversation before we meet up as
You
possible.
can do that.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
if we have I send whatever the line is, if she responds positively, it's like, "Okay, you wanna meet up? Let's
Mm.
just come on."
It's funny now when you're in a relationship, a long term relationship like I am, you find the joys in listening to people talk about dating. And me and my girlfriend, nothing brings us more joy than being in a restaurant, sitting next to people on a first date.
Yeah, that is good.
Because everything we're talking about is out the window. And all we're doing is sitting there listening,
Silently,
gathering
just kinda
information,
looking at each other.
gathering information. Like, honestly, the conversation, we can be talking about the most important thing in our lives. But if there's a date next to us that's on their first date, and all I hear is, so what do you do?
Yeah.
Babe, you listen, I read lips. Let's get together at the end of the date and just
Decide if they had chemistry.
talk about this couple.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've been in situations where after a first date that I'm sitting next to, me and my girlfriend are in the car talking about them for
Yeah.
hours. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that he quit her job. He quit his job. And now he moved across the country and is starting a whole new business. And his ex is not going to be close to him at all, even though she helped discover the business with him. And now he's on a first date. It's been 3 weeks. I know.
3
3 weeks.
weeks?
3 weeks since they broke up, and he's already on a date. And I'm pretty sure she's 21.
Yeah.
I mean, I gather that as well based on the whole thing. Like, I wish I could rent a car. I'm like, we all know what that
Yeah,
means.
yeah, we know what that means,
So,
yeah.
like, the information I was taking in, like, equally, nothing is more exciting than hearing a couple have an argument next to you.
Yeah, that's
Oh
great.
my God.
That's really good stuff.
Makes you want to read lips
Mhm.
or like, man, I do have a staring problem. So it's hard for me to do with these things. So I have to look at her. But what was that?
Happy 4th of July. It's the
Oh
fireworks have
God.
started. That was loud as hell.
That was loud, yeah. If you don't know, the Spider Studios is located on the east side of Los Angeles, and I can say this as a Hispanic man. Mexicans love fireworks. They love fireworks. If you are a Chicano of some sort, you just want to just light it up and let it fly.
Yeah, yes, you're gonna hear them.
You're gonna hear them.
If you live on the east side of LA, you're gonna hear
You're
fireworks.
gonna hear them, and then, actually, it's kind of relaxing at this point
Yeah.
because I'm just like, oh,
How does Franklin do with the fireworks?
good,
That's what a treat.
dude. The dog doesn't even flinch for fireworks.
Really?
I flinch.
Yeah.
I hear a firework. I'm like, oh my God, they're coming in. They're coming to shoot us. And like, I grab my girlfriend, throw her in front of the door, get underneath the bed, hold a bat. And my dog.
Franklin comes out with a Valium, like, here, just take this.
my dog has a treat, being like, you need this more than me.
Yeah.
He's just like that.
He's got it stuffed inside of egg whites. Like,
It's the only way I'll eat it.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I was at dinner with another couple, and they were not used to being in Los Angeles on the side of town. They're more like West Hollywood, kind of like West Side. And the whole conversation was just me like, so how's your show doing? Oh wow, is that all night? I'm like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's funny, like I've never had positive like just constantly doing that the whole date.
Was this inside?
Oh, they were just no, we're outside. the
Okay, that
patio.
makes more sense.
And they were like, affluent white people, so
Yeah.
they're just like,
So they're just waiting for the
just
Civil War to start.
just waiting for like a machete.
It's happening.
Waiting for like an AK to the back of the head, the wallet, purse, necklace.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so you're going on a second date. I saw you've been on another date with a lady. I hope it goes well.
Thank you.
Maybe we can double date sometime. I'm not really big into double dating, actually.
I don't love a double date either. I feel like there's a weird. It's because the problem is the double date is almost always the guys are friends and the women don't know each other, or the women are friends and the guys don't know each other. And that's difficult because it's so rare that you meet. I don't know about you. It's so rare that I meet a girlfriend's friend's boyfriend who I want to hang out with.
It's a forced play date.
Yes.
It's like, hey, you're a man. He's a man. This should work.
Yeah.
Really?
In theory, yeah, but oh man, I don't want to talk about fantasy football, my guy. I don't. Oh, thanks.
I've been on double dates before, and then it's this weird dynamic where you're sizing up the dude, like, what can I say? What's offensive?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just loosen the tie, being like, look at these two chicks yapping, huh? Can you? They could just talk about Love Island all night, huh? Right? And he's like, yeah. All right, you're cool. But instead, I could be like, what are these chicks talking about? You just refer to my woman as a chick? Oh,
That's my wife, man.
oh, sorry.
I respect her, and
Yeah.
I love Love Island.
Love Island is the reason why we're together. We were part of a Love Island chat group.
We met on Love Island. Show some respect for the program.
We met on Love Island. She picked me out of all the men, all the shirtless men. Speaking of, I brought up running before. I took up running again. Ran in the neighborhood before we started talking about news stories and stuff like that.
Mhm.
This is something I like to do, and I think I have the body for it. Not the body composition for it.
Okay.
I'm not as muscular as I want to be. Every man over the age of 40 is going to have a little bit of a pooch. Little bit of a pooch
Sure.
happens.
You popping the top? Is this what you're building up to?
You get you get God's fanny pack. Sometimes you can't help it. The upper unt or gunt or whatever you want to call it.
Upper goot.
I got one. Who doesn't? All right. I have I have 4 abs, not 6. The bottom
Pretty good.
4 abs.
4 abs at your age? Pretty good.
4 abs. The bottom 2 are very inflated. But 4 abs.
Yeah.
4 abs out of 6. The bottom 2 need a lot of work. You know what? It looks like I have like 2 like cubby holes that you used to find in an IKEA drawer, and then 2 little bean bags. It's very weird.
That's a good, yeah. You could buy your midsection at an IKEA. Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to get the Malm storage system and then the Flugen
The top 2
bags.
look like precision Swedish engineering.
Mhm.
The bottom 2 look like trash day bags. Look like 2 garbage bags. So it's very weird. It's a very weird little body I have. But I popped the top off.
Okay.
Got a bit of a farmer's tan. Pop the top off. I love it. I love what because sometimes I'll see a guy running in the neighborhood top off. I'm like,
That's freedom.
that should be me.
Yeah.
With maybe like some little glasses.
Oh yeah.
Little sunglasses.
Little sunglasses.
Some like I got my
You wearing a hat?
hat always.
Oh, I gotta have a hat.
Beats by Dre. Little earphones. I got a little fanny pack that's very tiny for my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Some shorts, a little compression like tights underneath. Big chunky sneaks that are meant for like the fuel cell ones.
Mhm.
New Balance. A nice athletic sock, no top.
Yeah.
And I have the body for it because
Are you leaving the house with no shirt, or are you taking it off and like tucking it in your belt?
I'm not quite confident enough to like leave the house shirtless.
You gotta have it just in case.
Just in case something breaks out, like, I don't want there to be the evening news. Did you see who killed that man? I'm like, oh, can I have a top?
Yeah, you've been at the police station for 9 hours with no shirt.
Honey, you should bring a shirt and a lawyer. No, the odd time I may need a shirt. So what I do is I take off the top, roll into a ball, put it in my front pocket, or I tie it around.
Yeah.
But I may not have the body in terms of muscular composition for it, but I am suspiciously hairless, as quoted by a doctor.
Suspiciously? A doctor said that was a diagnosis. We did some tests and you're suspiciously hairless.
You're suspiciously hairless.
Sorry, you're hairless and suspicious.
No. Your hairlessness is suspicious because my legs are extremely hairy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost like a centaur, like horse in the bottom, except for the middle.
Right. Except for a specific part.
Yeah, the middle part is not quite a farm animal, but the legs of a farm animal, the very top of some sort of aquatic, like a seal or a dolphin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very hairless, so that works. You're a man.
Mm-hmm.
You got a
real thick mane of chest.
So you go shirt. See, if I go shirtless running, people are like, "Oh, that little guy's going on and getting it." That little guy is.
That little guy's getting it.
Little guy's getting. He's going after it. He's probably working on his tan. You go shirtless because you're such a manly man with your chest. You look like you're out to mate.
Yeah.
If a guy runs shirtless and he's got a hairy chest, you look like he's looking to procreate.
Yeah, this is my mating dance. This is when the birds do the little dance. That's me.
It looks primal. It's like, he's looking for meat.
Yeah, he's chasing that woman, I think.
I think he's chasing a gazelle, and then he's gonna drag it to a cave and show his last that he's a good hunter. But anyway, we should go running together. But
yeah.
I can't with you because you're taller and you have a longer step. So you're going to be like, hey, where'd he go?
Has anybody seen my friend? He's tiny and suspiciously hairless. I lost him somewhere near the reservoir.
You mean that guy over there is just like crying with no shirt on? He's on the ground because his little stacky shoes don't quite give him enough shock absorption. All right, let's talk about what's going on in the news, what's happening, any news stories. Well, we got to talk about first. One thing is, I don't want to get too in depth about it, but the debate was
They did happen.
Was happening.
Did you watch them?
This episode's going to come out a week after the debate, but I did watch. And whatever political side you stand on, you got to admit, old is old.
Yeah.
And oof.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of the clips. I've heard a little bit here and there.
I watched the whole thing. It was tough.
How long was the whole? Was it like an hour, 2 hours?
It felt really long.
It seemed like not. It seemed like truly punishment to watch that.
Yeah, it's just getting. You know what it was? It was like the last season of Seinfeld. It's like, yeah, I guess the characters all look the same, sorta, but it's not.
It's just not the same.
No, the writing's off.
Yeah. They should really just pull the plug on this.
Yeah, they should stop. This is not what I thought. Joe was like, he's just old, man.
Yeah, he's old.
One should be in a home, one should be in jail. It's just a weird moment.
You decide who's who.
Yeah. Wow, what a way to play both sides. Yeah. And whoever that is, you decide. One's gonna get elected legitimately or not.
Or not.
You tell us. That's really funny. But yeah, Joe's old. Joe's a little too old. And then I saw footage of after the debate, his wife was helping him down the steps. Like,
Uh,
oh man,
at this point, yeah, dude, I just want.
why can't
I don't think it's a lot to ask for the president to be like
not 80?
not 80. Not just somebody I could have a beer with, but someone who could play pickup basketball.
Yeah, I think they should do this. If you want to be the president of the United States, they should do like something where like, hey, can you pick that up?
There should be a presidential fitness test
Yes.
before you can be the president.
There should be a physical fitness test for the president.
Yes.
And what would that be? I mean, to be the president physically, all you need to do is like get off a plane, get on a plane, sign some things,
Yeah.
wave some people, walk.
Yeah, I guess it would just be like you gotta run the mile or walk the mile in under 20 minutes.
Yes. Okay.
I want you to be able to lift 50 pounds
Over your head.
over your head, just in case.
You know what? That should be the test. If you want to be the president of the United States after you've been elected, you have to lift this barbell that weighs exactly 50 pounds over your head. And it's at the inauguration.
At the inauguration. So
all
there's
right.
a chance.
Yes. All right, everyone. It's time for the presidential lift. Remember the rules. If he doesn't lift this over his head, the other guy automatically wins.
And then he's got to do it.
Yes, he's got to do it. And if he doesn't do it, then we just keep going down
Yeah.
until somebody lifts that over their head.
We'll start calling for volunteers from the crowd.
So then whoever gets elected, it'll be 3, 2, 1, lift. And it's like, oh, he fell. All right. Okay, the next guy, and just keep doing it until someone lifts it over their head. That's a good way to do it.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
That'd be okay. 50 pounds is if an old man can lift 50 pounds over his head, I'm like, hey, that's great.
This guy, I trust him to run the country.
Yeah, that guy should be telling what women should be doing with their bodies.
Yeah, I'll listen to that guy if he wants to make abortion illegal.
Yeah.
Well, okay, he's pretty strong.
Yeah.
So he's pretty smart.
Hey, listen, if you can't lift 50 pounds over your head, I don't think you should be telling people if they can stay in this country. I'm sorry.
But if you're holding 50 pounds above your head and you're like, get out, I think you got to respect that guy.
I think other countries be like, I can't listen to this president. He can't even lift 50 pounds over his head. Of course I'm going to invade the other countries.
Yes.
The president can't even lift 50 pounds.
And you know what? I think it should maybe even go further than that. I think we should institute a new policy. No war. Your head of state, it's a bare knuckle boxing match. If Russia really wants a peace, Putin and our president have to fight. And right now, there's no shot we're winning that fight.
How about this? Let's do something on trend.
Okay.
Instead, in terms of like solving diplomatic disputes and political like skirmishes or like wars between countries, this is what you do. Ukraine and Russia slap fighting. Stay
Like the new slap fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
Stay on. It's trending.
That's good.
Putin. What's the other guy? Kaczynski?
Vladimir Zelensky.
Zelensky. Slap fight.
Slap fight. Yeah, because there's a strength element, but there's also a stamina, sort of will element.
Put in a mouth guard in.
Who
Chalk
wants
up.
it more?
Chalk up those hands.
Chalk them. I do love every once in a while I'll be flipping through my Instagram and see a clip, and yeah, when the guy slaps and then it's like when LeBron blows.
Oh yeah,
it looks so funny.
It's funny how primal of human beings we are. We just love seeing another person getting slapped, whether it's in a Walmart and they're arguing, or whether it's in an octagon surrounded by people in Vegas.
Yeah.
Something about it we just want to see. I find it to be a little gruesome, but
it is, but that's part of what's nice about the slap stuff is that because it's an open hand, you can kind of convince yourself like, well, he's fine.
When the women do it, I find it to be a little alarming because you're still watching a woman getting slapped, and which is not good in any way.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and then I watched one where a woman got slapped and she just like kind of blew a kiss to the other woman, and I was like, is that hot?
Yeah. I'm confused right now.
Yeah. What if she's like, give it to me rough? I'm like, what do I do? Hit her with a baseball bat? If she likes like, I like it rough, by the way. Like, okay, what do I just like stab you?
Yeah, I can't possibly be as rough as you need, from what I can tell.
Or maybe a woman who likes being slapped, and like a woman who's like a slap fighter. Maybe rough is not her thing. She's like, I need to be essentially laid down.
Yeah, maybe she's like,
caressed.
let's leave work at work.
Hold me whisper in my ear, tell me I'm beautiful, touch me, caress me.
Yeah, you don't slap me. I don't ask you about spreadsheets. You
Yeah.
know.
When we make love, it's at least 5 to 7 hours of just touching, finger manipulation, kissing, sweet, sweet pillow talk. That's it. But when I go to work, slap
I
me as
want it
hard,
harder.
slap me until my teeth bleed. Okay. Yeah, a woman like that, woman's into face slapping. It's just like, I don't know. She's like, I want a rough. Like, what do you do?
I
Just
mean,
push it down some stairs? And she just looks like this. Thank you. Anyway, another news. Justin Timberlake got pulled over for
mm-hmm,
drunk driving in
mm-hmm,
the Hamptons.
mm-hmm.
I think he's going to stop his tour, I think.
Have you heard the conspiracy theory?
Wh- What is it?
The ticket sales weren't very good, so he got a DUI on purpose so that he could go to rehab and then file an insurance claim and get paid out for not doing the tour.
Wow.
Which is probably not true because that's like a lot. Like you're like doing a lot of damage to your reputation by getting a DUI on purpose. Like
But
I don't think I believe anyone's getting a DUI on purpose, but it is fun. I think it's fun to imagine that his tour was bombing so bad that he was like, I'm gonna go drink a bunch of wine, do some poppers, get pulled over, just blow through stop signs till I get pulled over.
but here's the thing. I'm going to be devil's advocate here. I'm going to go on the side of the conspiracy theory. I'm going to try to make an argument.
Mm-hmm.
What's more embarrassing? That people have a phone, everyone has a phone in their pocket, and it's going to go viral. Like, looks like JT isn't as popular as it used to be. And they do a pan around of this huge venue, like the
Yeah.
crypto.com arena, and it's half empty. And then people start being like, I'm at the Justin Timberlake concert. Where's everybody else?
Mm-hmm.
And it just show hordes and hordes of empty seats. That's almost worse. But if you got a DUI, one DUI, and you're in the Hamptons and you're in the middle of nowhere driving,
And you are fabulously wealthy. It's not going to affect you
your
long
bottom
term.
line, and it's like, pick your embarrassment.
Yeah.
Are you a guy who's like,
Yeah, one DUI or 58 half empty arenas.
yeah. So there you go.
Mm.
And maybe his handlers or people involved in his life were like, listen, you'll cancel the tour. We'll reschedule it in smaller venues.
Mm-hmm. And then it can be your redemption tour.
There
You
you
can have a
go.
whole arc where you will go to rehab and you
I-
come back stronger than ever.
I wonder about the Hollywood machine, if it's that calculated, because it is all smoke and mirrors.
It's
It
a
is
lot.
all.
It is a lot of smoke and mirrors, but I think that based on what I have learned as I've grown up and I've met more people, is that it's usually less complicated than that because you're assuming a level of like competence and coordination that I have just rarely seen actually manifested in the world.
Interesting. I will say though, if he did have a DUI and it was legitimate, he did have a DUI, but if it was legitimate and it
Mhm.
was like, hey, I went, apparently I only had one drink.
That's what he said?
I think that was the report. He claims he only had one drink,
Yeah,
or the bar,
that's what you say.
but that's what you say. That's true. But my question is, was it one drink mixed with other things?
Now I did hear, this is just circuit rumor. I heard someone at like a show said that there was poppers in his system too.
Ooh, poppers. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't
Hmm.
know.
Hmm.
I've never had a popper. I don't know what a popper is. Isn't that like a sex drug?
Kind of. I've never done one either. But it's like
Really never had to take some poppers, go to the gym, and
Never-
take a cycle class, whatever the hell you do. You ever do crystal meth and just get on the elliptical?
now that would be a good workout.
That's junkie Brent. Like, oh, you just did. I think I just did black tar heroin and did a yoga class.
Oh, can you
He'd
imagine?
be so flexible.
Oh
Like,
my
that guy's doing
God.
the splits and he's bleeding.
He's been bent over at the waist for the whole class.
Oh, how's he doing that? His head must be purple.
No,
But-
never done poppers, but yeah, it's like it makes you. I think it makes you a little dizzy and kind of feel good, and it also relaxes your butthole. So it's
Oh, that's the
sometimes
appeal.
used. Yeah,
To that I say, maybe that would be a good way to like take a hell of a dump. Take a popper.
you know what?
You probably
Not
take
the worst idea you've ever had.
Imagine like I'm like super constipated, and the doctor was like, "You should take a popper." I
Yeah.
go, "Popper? Like take a popper. Your anus will loosen up,
Loosen up.
and it'll fall out of you like laundry in the back of a truck, just fall off."
Your doctor prescribed poppers? Because from what I understand, you can't just like buy poppers. You have to go on, if you're gonna buy them online, you have to buy VCR cleaner.
Really?
Yeah, it's like how you can buy water pipes, but it's a bong. It's like VCR cleaner is poppers.
Yeah.
So your doctor's like, go to this website, buy some VCR cleaner.
Speaking of, we got to talk about this.
What?
And what time we're at? Oh, we got lots of time. We got to talk about this. So me and Brent, we do a show every week called
Oh
Totally Comedy
yeah.
Show every Wednesday. You're there every other week. I'm there every
Mhm,
week.
mhm.
It's in the if you're in Los Angeles and West Hollywood, come check out the show. I'm always doing new material. Brent's hosting the show sometimes. He's doing new stuff. It's a lot of fun.
Good
Cool
time.
rooms in a vodka bar in the heart of West Hollywood. Totally Comedy Show. Link to that in the description of this episode. But we did a show. You were hosting. I was on. Front row.
Mhm.
There was a throuple.
A confirmed throuple. We're not just saying that. We
And
talked to them.
I talked to them extensively.
Mhm.
You did as well. I might post a clip on Instagram. Although anytime I would mention the word sex on Instagram, I always have to exit out. I always
Yeah.
feel like, it's not really my thing to
Mhm.
like hyper edit something.
No, I think you should rebrand as a horny comedian.
Rebrand, like it was my old brand, or bring back that brand. Hey, I'm the horny guy, right? Oop, zippers down. They were in the front row of our show, and you said something on Instagram that I thought was so apropos, very on brand. It's a very like fitting. Uh, there was a throuple in the front row, and can you believe it? They weren't shy about it,
Yeah.
and it is true. When I thought about it, if you're in a throuple, you can't wait to tell people you're in a throuple.
No,
And
you're
I'm not here to shame anyone for their relationship or their agreements they have, their partnerships with anybody. Be with 20 people as long as it's legal. I don't care.
yeah, as long as everyone's having a good time,
Yeah.
consent, good feelings, what do I care?
Although polygamy is illegal in the United States.
Yeah, that one,
Yeah. You can't have a bunch of sister wives and just screw them all and be very culty. But I will say,
Yeah, it's weird though that's like, if you're married to all of them, that's a no-no. But if you're just dating all of them, it's like, yeah, whatever.
you're a lucky guy.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're dating,
If you're dating 7 women, you're a freaking stud. If you're
You're-
married to 7 women, you're a fucking cult leader.
Yeah,
Wait, you should be in jail.
you are 100% right. If you're dating 8 women, you're like, dude, you got the riz. Teach me your ways. You're married 8 women. You're a criminal.
Yeah.
You're a cult leader. You're a creep.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny how like, oh, so let me get this straight. I've made the ultimate commitment of love
Yeah.
and I'm a creep? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Dangle them, keep them all at arm's length, and then you're a good guy.
As soon as
Anyhow,
you get a ring and ink and paper involved, you're a bad guy.
imagine buying 8 rings.
Yeah, that's gotta cost a lot.
8 engagements? Do you engage? Do you go on one knee for all of them at the same time?
That's a great question.
Like if you marry 8 women, of course it's all scattered around.
Yeah.
But what if you meet 3 at the same time? You're like, hey, you guys want to get married? And you get on your one knee and then you just go 1, 2, 3.
Bing, bing, bing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh, this one's yours is a little bigger. Can we switch?
Yeah.
Anyway, so there were a throuple in the front row. And I will say this. They had the vibe.
Yes. The body language was immediately like,
Oh man.
oh, they're all having sex with each other
Oh
at the
yeah.
same time.
Yeah. And I don't know if you caught this, but there was the throuple in the front row was kind of just hands on each other's knee, all intertwined, just
Mhm.
looking, all smiling, kind of
Mhm.
sedated in a way,
Yeah.
I mean, like that. And then I said, I've actually never been in a three-way before. I said, I've never been in a three-way before. And one of the women said, we can tell. And then I said, what, you think I can't bang 2 5s?
Yeah.
You think I can't hook up with 2 5s?
They took that personally. I think they thought you were calling them 5s.
I was. You can't say that to me. I threw some worthy. I can at least be the odd guy out cheering somebody on. Like, hey, you're doing great,
Yeah, I could
buddy.
be in the room.
I could be the real. I could be like, hey, you guys keep going. I'll get some water. I'll be back. Let me know if you guys need a towel or maybe some refreshments or open a window. Anyway, they just had the vibe of like. And here's the thing, okay? If you're in a willing partnership with 2 other women, but there was a vibe where it's like, oh man, are you guys? Is he have a trance over you?
Mhm,
There's a
mhm.
bit of like a culty kind of like these are my women.
Yeah.
I don't trust it.
No, something weird. There was a weird. I've I haven't met a lot of thruples, but
You have?
no, I haven't. I'm thinking
Oh,
that is that the first and only time I've ever actually met a throuple who willingly used that title in
they're
public.
so open about it.
I think so. I think that's maybe the first throuple I've actually met in
And
real
I
life.
said, "Where did you guys meet?" And they said, "We met at a sex club."
Sex, yeah.
And I was like, "Of course,
How else do you end up in a throuple?
exactly,
Because you can't add, you can't be like,
Pottery Barn."
to yeah.
I was on a Cali King bed, and the other two were like, "Got room for two more?" I was like, "I do in my life." Anyway, so yeah.
Uh, yeah, we met at a running club.
We did. We after the run, after the finish line, we just said, "Let's just keep running back to my place." And then we
Yeah.
just cooled down together. I was like, "Okay."
We're like, well, a friend introduced us. Like my friend was like, I think you too would really like this guy I know.
Imagine you're in a throuple and someone goes, how'd you meet these two women? Got set up by a friend." A friend was like, "I think you would be great with these two women.
Yeah.
Do you want one?" No, 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 no. I like seeing my friends have fun.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be so funny.
Arranged marriage. You're never gonna believe it. Arranged marriage.
You're never gonna believe it. You got really two cool, chill, but yet traditional parents that wanted me to be a throuple.
Very traditional, but also very sexually liberated
Yeah,
parents who set
very
us
new
up.
wave, very open, very liberal, but very traditional. Like, you
Yeah.
take my daughter for some goats and take my friend's daughter.
Yeah.
What time are we? Oh, we got a little more time. Anyway, so they just had a vibe to them where they were like, hey,
Mhm.
you know what it was? I wasn't offended by them being a guy being with two women
Yeah.
and experiencing utter bliss, I guess.
Mhm.
I was thinking because I'm in a relationship for so long, I was thinking logistically,
Yeah.
this is a nightmare.
I wanted to ask more questions,
So
but
did I.
I also was like, the whole show can't be about
Yeah, you got to keep
them.
it. You did a good job because some
Thank
people
you.
derail it for their own thing. But here's the thing with the thruple, the front row. There's no such thing. A thruple only lasts for, and I'm basing this strictly on common sense.
Yeah.
4 months, 3
Can't
months.
yeah,
There's
it's
no
gotta
such thing
be
as a
a
long-term
fling. Yeah,
thruple, a
no.
thruple. There's no such thing as a long-term thruple. There's no one like, I've been in a thruple for about 8 years now.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. You have to ask two women what they want for dinner and make them both happy? So where do you guys want to eat? Sushi, burgers.
Okay.
All right. How about we do both? No? How about we just
No?
do sushi because we had fish the day before?
You're not hungry
No.
enough? Okay, and you
Okay.
don't all
So
right.
fried food is too much for
Okay, well,
you.
how about this? No? Okay.
Okay. How about I make food? That's not that. How about I make, maybe some barbecue or something? Like, no, okay. That's every night?
Every night. What I wondered is, 'cause do they live in 3 different places? They must.
I don't know.
Do they all live together? Do the women have their own house? The guy has his like, the living situation is the thing I was most curious about that I didn't get an answer.
How would you feel if you met a throuple?
Yeah.
Two guys, one girl, both guys straight as hell.
Mhm.
Then what?
What do you mean? How would I feel?
Well, not you feel, but like, what questions would you ask?
Oh.
If they were like, ask away, we're a throuple. And I go, okay, is any one of you gay? Like, nope. Straight as an
You're
arrow.
both
Same
yeah,
here.
not even bi? Okay. Well,
No.
then I would say, so is I would be like, "I'm sorry, this is very personal, but are you all having sex at the same time?"
And they're like, nope.
So you okay. So I would call this sharing.
No, we live together. We all go to dinner together. We all
One bedroom? 2 bedrooms?
one Cali King bed. We're all in the same bed.
I mean, whatever works. But does that mean, yeah, if one person has to just be like, okay, clearly you guys get the bed tonight. I'll go sleep on the couch.
I will say one thing. Imagine a throuple, two guys, one girl, both guys straight as hell. both guys best friends. If you look past the whole sharing aspect,
Could be a lot of fun.
it could be fucking great.
Your best friend is always there,
You're watching the game, you're buying
and
wings,
you're both in love.
and we're both like, you love the same woman, and we're splitting the duties.
Yeah, that's another thing because it's like I really don't want to go to your sister's wedding.
You-
Can he go?
You text the guy like, "Where you guys at? West Elm, kill me." And you're like, "Hang in there, brother. I'll see you tonight."
Yeah. I'll have a cold Coors Light in the fridge when you get back.
Yeah, don't worry. I DVR'd the game. Don't check your phone. I think it'd be kind of good.
That would be kind of all right.
If anything, she would hate you. She'd hate the guys because she'd be like, "Can you guys stop playing video games and like, why don't you just bang me out all night?" I'm like, "Yeah. We're playing fucking Halo. I got to win this."
Yeah.
Or playing or some video game that people play. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you look past the sharing aspect, it's kind of chill.
It does sound all right. Yeah. Because then, like, half the time you get to kind of be single. I mean, you might not be able to, like, hook up with other people, but you get to, like, sort of live a bachelor life where you're not accountable to anyone. And then half the time you get the affection and the companionship and whatnot.
What if this happens, right? I can just see the scenarios. She comes home, guys, I just ordered an IKEA wardrobe. It's gonna be great, and I need someone to help. One of you guys gotta help me. You guys gotta help me put it together. You just go together with your buddy, flip the coin.
Hey,
Sorry, buddy.
sorry, this mom's all yours, buddy.
Yeah, I'll get the next one.
Yeah.
It'd end up being pretty cool.
Could be.
Because if I could share one woman, if I had no reservations.
This is the episode where we find that's the source of us being a throuple.
This is where my girlfriend comes in. She's like,
I've been
"And?"
listening.
And I love it.
Yeah. We'll set up a cot in the garage,
and then you work your way to the bed. All right, we're all done. I think we had a fun time here on Oh Hell Yeah. Anything to plug?
Just see me in Seattle, July 18th.
Is it 18th?
Yes.
Well, you check for that. You can see me and Brent July 11th at the Dallas Comedy Club. The link to that is in the description of this episode. Also,
It's the 18th.
We'll be in, is it the 18th? Yeah. July 18th at?
The Hereafter in Seattle.
Check them out, the Hereafter. Check us out Wednesdays at Totally Comedy Show in West Hollywood. Link to that is in the description of this episode as well. Also, if you live in San Diego, I know it's a little ahead of time, but we'll be at the Mic Drop Comedy Club.
October 25th.
October 25th. Check us out then. And if you hit this point of the podcast, subscribe.
Come on.
Hit the notification bell on YouTube.
It's like episode 5. You're still listening. Come on.
And if you're listening, write us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps the show grow. Follow us on Spotify, all that stuff.
Come on, man.
Social media clips. The social media links are in the description of this episode as well. Follow us on Instagram.
Share the clips, man.
Share the clips, please. I think this pod is killer.
We love it. We want you to tell your friends about it.
Had a good time. You had a good time?
Had a great time.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.